G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life. And now that my Accord has a few modifications and is just a touch faster than a stock one, it's time to step up the comparisons to see how my Accord compares with this, a Mazdaspeed 6. Exterior styling I find really interesting because they are actually extremely similar looking cars. They are both fairly low four-cylinder sedans with a very similar light shape at the front, but naturally there's been a few more cosmetic enhancements done to this Mazdaspeed 6 over here. It's got a new bonnet with various fins and vents in it. It's got a new bumper with a lip kit on it, much like my car, and some halos in the lights and various other bits and pieces, along with some really nice looking 19-inch wheels from the Bling company. And then around back it has a black roof, some vortex generators on the roof, along with a enormous spoiler, some different tail lights and a new exhaust system, among a few other changes under the bonnet that you'll see a bit later on. In terms of my car, it's not really too much different to a stock one. It has the factory Modulo sports kit and spoiler. It has some different aftermarket Sparco wheels, and it has a Flow Designs lip kit. So in general, this one probably looks a touch more aggressive, but both of them are very nice looking mid-2000s Japanese sedans. The interiors of these two cars are actually incredibly similar as well. The layout of where everything is on the steering wheel, where the traction control and light adjustments are, even how the centre stack here is laid out is remarkably similar to what you find in the Accord Euro. But the notable differences: my car has cruise control and dual zone climate control, which I quite like. This car unfortunately doesn't. I think the gauges in my car look a little bit more interesting. They have a few more colours going on. The steering wheel on this feels really nice. The pedal box is placed perfectly for heel toes. This one has a short shifter on it, so the transmission feels lovely. The seats hold you in really well and are still really comfortable. I think not quite as comfortable as the Accord Euro ones. They're kind of made out of that more scratchy fabric, but the back seat room is definitely better in the Mazdaspeed 6. In general, they're very similar and both will serve anybody, whether you're just driving it yourself or you have to take a whole bunch of passengers with you, very well. The engine under the bonnet of the Mazdaspeed 6 is a 2.3 litre turbocharged inline 4. From factory it makes 205 kilowatt or 275 horsepower and 380 newton meters. It's paired up with a 6-speed manual and power is being sent to all four wheels. Now this one has had a few modifications done to it, like a larger intercooler, an intake and a tune, so it's probably making somewhere in the neighbourhood of 200 wheel kilowatt. You compare that to my Accord, it has a 2.4 litre inline 4, a K24A3, but it doesn't have a turbo, which means it makes quite a bit less power. From factory, 140 kilowatts, so 65 less than this, and 223 newton meters, about 160 newton meters less than this. So quite a lot less power. But then again, mine does have a full exhaust system, an intake and a tune, along with shorter Type R ratios, which means it's now putting down 150 wheel kilowatt and 242 wheel newton meters. And because it is a 6-speed manual but only front wheel drive, it does weigh quite a bit less than the Mazdaspeed 6. So even though obviously the Mazdaspeed is going to win, it'll be interesting to see nonetheless what happens in a rolling race. 3, 2, 1, go. Three, two, one, go. Driving the Mazdaspeed 6. This is a really nice car. I've been thoroughly impressed. It feels just like an Accord Euro, where it has amazing transmission feel, perfectly placed pedal box, really nicely weighted steering. It's very comfortable, it rides well, the interior build quality is pretty decent. I know that it looks really cool on the outside. It has a nice rumble to it at the lower RPM. But the big difference, naturally, is that even though they're both 4 cylinders and both manual, this has a turbo. And so it is quite fast, and it's very nice, smooth power delivery. If I were to have any complaints about the driving experience, the engine is a bit dull. It doesn't sound that amazing. It's a 4-cylinder, you know, kind of like with the Evo and kind of like with the Caldina GT4, you know, 2 litre-ish turbo 4s. They don't really sound that interesting. But it doesn't matter when you got a turbo, because Do I need say no more? This is a glorious, glorious car. It puts down its power really well, handles fantastically. Oh, mate, this is fantastic. It's just like a turbo Accord Euro. Like I said, it would be nice if the engine sounded maybe just a touch more interesting, but in every other regard, I can't really fault it. Oh, that is brilliant. Wrapping up the Accord Euro versus Mazdaspeed 6 video. Look, obviously the Mazdaspeed 6 is a better car. It's got an equally as nice interior, it looks equally as nice on the outside, but the engine makes significantly more power, it has fantastic turbo noises, it has good gear ratios right from the off, it's all-wheel drive so it can put its power down really nicely, it makes excellent torque, it handles really well, great steering feel. And to get to drive one with only like 46,000 Ks on it was incredible, and it just felt so fresh, so nice. So in pretty much every area, the Mazdaspeed is obviously better than the Accord Euro, and I'd absolutely recommend that you go out and buy one. The only area where I can really knock it is engine sound. It only revs to like 6,500 RPM for starters, so with this going to 8, it makes a bit of a difference. And with it being naturally aspirated, the sound is just so much more exciting. And so for that reason, if you really like high revving, great sounding, naturally aspirated engines, the Accord Euro with a few mods on it will tick all of your boxes, and it ticks all of mine, and that's why I love this car so much. However, if you want more power, the ability to get more power, and the ability to put the power down more in a very, very similar car to the Accord Euro, then the Mazdaspeed will run rings around this car. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Kiwi Car Life. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see me comparing my Accord Euro with a Caldina GT4, which is kind of the only car I've driven that's really anywhere similar to that Mazda, then click over here. And if you want to see me comparing it with an Accord Euro R, then click over here, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next time. One more tunnel pull before I stop driving like an idiot. Oh yeah.